need to loosen up a little bit. There we go. You know, if you're trying to find a reason to escape the hot temperatures and head up north, well, I've got the perfect excuse for you. How lucky am I to be sandwiched between these two guys, right? It's a delicious food and wine festival all in one place. It's the 4th annual Flagstaff Wine and Food Festival. Where's that happening at?
Fort Ted Hill.
Okay, good. I'm glad you know.
Second one, it's a great time. REO Speedwagon's playing the night before.
Oh, okay, so I'm in. Well, it's happening next Saturday, a week from tomorrow, June 8th, and these are the two guys, well, a couple of the two guys that you'll see there. This is Executive Chef Quinn McCord of Twin Arrows, the Navajo Casino Resort, the new one that just opened, and Chef John Connolly, who will also be there, who's joining us a little bit later in the show, right?
I will be.
Okay, and we're going to talk more about you and the festival in just a moment. I'm going to let you step off to the side because Chef Quinn, in the meantime, is going to be making up. This is kind of what you guys are known for, a specialty are your meats, and why is that?
Well, it's a Navajo beef program that we have set up with Labatt's distributor in New Mexico. The cattle is actually raised on a ranch in Arizona.
Really?
So buying locally is a huge thing for us.
Yeah, you know.
And it's really close. I mean, it's beautiful meat, as you can see. It's beautifully marbled. This particular cut is a strip steak. It's a New York strip steak. And we've selected that specifically for summer grilling. It's a great steak to put on the grill. And you'll see after we're done here how great it tastes. It eats like prime meat.
Oh, nice.
And that's a specialty in our steakhouse, Ena's Steakhouse at Twin Arrows.
Well, let's get cooking.
Okay.
Right.
We're going to start with seasoning the meat. First of all, selecting the proper cut is really important for summer grilling. If it's a tougher cut, it would need to marinate overnight probably. But we're not going to do that. This steak here is cook and eat.
Okay. I like it. So
we're going to season this first. We're going to start with a little bit of olive oil. I've selected since you were doing the olive oil segment there.
Yeah.
We're going to do a little bit of unfiltered olive oil from Italy, extra virgin, and we're going to season that real simply. We don't want to cover up the taste of the meat, but real simply with kosher salt, liberal amounts, a little bit of cracked black pepper, freshly cracked.
Looks like you have, is that all pepper in there or is that mixed with
It's
salt?
a little bit of salt too.
Okay.
Okay?
You like salt, huh?
I like salt. It needs to bring out the flavor of the meat. And we're going to use a little bit of fresh garlic.
Really? You
And
put
we're
that
gonna-
on before you cook it, huh?
Before we cook it.
Wow.
Okay? And we're going to flip it over, do both sides.
So you do not have to let this sit at all for any length of time before you grill
Well,
it?
certainly coming straight out of the refrigerator, you want to set it at room temperature for probably a half hour.
Why is that?
Well, it softens up the fat in the meat and makes it easier to melt when you're cooking it.
Really?
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
Now we're also going to let it sit after we're done cooking as well, because we want to let the blood set in the muscle so that when you cut it, the blood doesn't run all over the plate and leave you with a dry steak.
Okay.
So we have our hot grill here.
Yes, we do. I can
It's very hot.
feel it from here.
And we're going to rub that with just a little bit of olive oil to keep the steak from sticking. And we're going to drop the steak on at an angle because we want some real nice grill lines on this.
Yeah.
So we have the grill lines going this way, so we're going to drop it the other way.
Okay.
And that's going to grill up. We're actually going to turn it 3 times so we get the grill marks on both sides.
Is it true that you shouldn't flip your steak over, you know, like back and forth all the time? You should just let it cook on the inside?
The less you touch it, the better off
Okay.
it is. Yes,
And
that's true.
does it make it drier if you do that?
I don't know that that's necessarily true, but I know that the less you fool with it, the better off it's going to be.
Okay. And I've always wondered like strips are, I know that they can be tender, but I've had some pretty bad strips.
Well, in a whole strip loin, you have an end, which is closer to the shoulder, which has it's called the blade muscle, and it's not easy to eat. If you eat around it, it's fine.
Right.
But there is a tougher part, and there is a nicer part, no question.
I found that to be the case.
So we should have real nice grill lines on this grill. It's very hot, and we're going to flip that around. And while we're doing that,
you're embellishing your steak is what you're doing.
Yes, I am.
like that. I
like that too. We're also going to, while we're doing that, in the finished product on our steak is our garnish. It's going to go on every steak there. I have a little bit of olive oil in the pan, and we're going to do some cipollini onions. That's a sweeter small onion.
So we have about a minute left, Chef. So I know that you have other dishes, and you're going to stick around. You're making
I am,
something
happy
else
to,
for
yes.
us, but always love to get some great grilling tips, especially this time of year. You are going to be out at the Food and Wine Festival.
I am. I can't wait for that. It's really going to be fun.
I know,
Looking
and
forward
you're
to
going to be
that.
out there for Twin Arrows and, you know, educating everybody on, you know, you guys are new and what you're doing there differently, and I really like your philosophy of how you created your menu and why, so that's pretty interesting.
It's really going to be a fun event, and I'm doing a demonstration with 3 or 4 other great chefs in town. And everybody's doing their specialty, so it's really going to be cool. Get together with some of the new. I'm the new guy in town, so I got to fit into the neighborhood. You know?
I think you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. It's great out here. I love it here. I'm an Atlantic City guy, so I'm a transplant. Everything's different here than what I'm used to. So.
Well, you couldn't do it in a better place than
I
up in
couldn't.
Flagstaff. I can promise you that. So everybody says, oh, it's a dry heat. You won't even know anything about that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you keep cooking up for us. We're going to talk more about some of their specialty dishes that they have out at Twin Arrows. I love that sound.
Okay.
We've got the information about the Flagstaff Food and Wine Festival on our website, sonoranliving.com.